ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। फर्स्ट श्लोका। ॐ तपोभिः क्षीणपापानां शान्तानां वीतरागिणां मुमुक्षूणामपेक्ष्योऽयम् आत्मबोधो विधीयते। 16 आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति। आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति
आत्मानो
क्रिया नास्ति
बुद्धेर्बोधो न जात्विति।
बुद्धेर्बोधो न जायते।
जीवः सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा
जीव सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा
ज्ञाता द्रष्टेति मुह्यति।
ज्ञाता दृष्टे विमुच्यते।
रज्जुसर्पवदात्मानं
रज्जुः सर्ववदात्मानं
जीवं ज्ञात्वा भयं वहेत्।
जीवं ज्ञात्वा भयं वहेत्।
नाहं जीवः परात्मेति
नाहं जीव परात्मेदि
ज्ञातश्चेन्निर्भयो भवेत्।
ज्ञातं चेन्निर्भयो भवेत्।
आत्मावभासयत्येकः
आत्मावभासयत्येकः
बुद्ध्यादीनिन्द्रियाण्यपि
बुद्ध्यादीन् इन्द्रियाण्यपि
दीपो घटादिवत् स्वात्मा
दीपो घटादिवत् आत्मा
जडैस्तैर्नावभास्यते।
जडैर्नवभास्यते।
स्वबोधे नान्यबोधेच्छा
स्वबोधे नान्यबोधे च रक्षः
बोधरूपतयात्मनः।
बोधरूपयात्मनः।
न दीपस्यान्यदीपेच्छा
न दीपस्यान्यदीपेच्छा
यथा स्वात्मप्रकाशने।
यथा स्वात्मप्रकाशते प्रकाशने।
Yeah, I think this is where we are. Shloka number 19.
29, Guruji.
Sorry, 29. Yeah. This classic 1-2 problem. Some of you are laughing. All right. So last time we charted our journey, as it were. How did I end up with the study of consciousness? Right? That is the question. Where was I and where did I come? That is why I mentioned it last time. I was asking myself actually. What is this message? So, how did you get to this point? And so that's the idea here. That is what Vedanta will make us do. It make us become acutely aware of ourselves. Not that I was not aware of myself before. Previously, as Swamiji, Puja Swamiji would say, I was trying to make myself better and better and better. I was trying to add things to myself, correct? I add things. I add education, then I add family, then add health to the family, because unhealthy family is of no use. No use means what? Makes us sad. And so I have to add health to the family. Then I had to add wealth to the family. This is my life. Adding. And then I am told that this adding has no end. This adding has no end. You're welcome to add. You have to add also. There's no choice. When you live, you have to make a living means you have to add stuff. But don't assume this adding is going to end someday. Why? Because Shastram says it. It is not my idea. It is not even Shankara's idea. And so, then what do I have any hope? Yes, there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of hope because this totally added entity is you. Completely. The entity to which you cannot add anything. Purnamadaha Purnamidam. Purnat Purnam udachyate. From the Purnam you take anything out, the Purnam will still be Purnam. Like that, this mantra is saying from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And that Purnam you are you ready to accept it? That is the challenge. It's an open challenge it is. And so then that is how we got into this journey. I don't want to repeat all that. And so here in 28th shloka, Atma avabhasayati ekaha san. Being just one. Being one means what? Being non-dual. There is no second thing like it. And there is also not only no second thing like it, there is no second thing also. No second thing like it means what? We tell our children, there is nobody like you. There's nobody like you. But not that kind of Atma, nobody like you. Hey, there is nothing else. There's no second. That's why Advaitam, non-dual. So, Ekaha San, Atma avabhasayati. Atma illumines everything, anything and everything, including this buddhyādīn indriyanyapi, including this so-called this body, mind, sense complex. Okay, that's the revelation we have. And that is why, because Atma is, but then he says, Deepo Gata Devat Svatma. All right. Just like the light illumines anything, any object that is waiting for it to be illuminated, like Gata Divat. But the reverse is not possible. That is the nature of Atma. Atma is the ultimate illuminer, if you want to call it like that. Okay. And so, that being the case, so he's saying, that shloka is saying Atma cannot be illumined. And if Atma cannot be illumined, that means Atma can't be known. Because in order for me to prove the existence of something, I must know it. I must first know it. Otherwise, we can only believe something. You can only believe something. Has Guruji come to class? How do you know? Let me check. And then, no, he's not there. He's not there. Okay. So you have to prove. That is the only way for you to prove existence. Prove the existence. That is, you have to know something. That that vritti has to take place. The evidence must be there. You're looking for evidence. So that knowledge of any object is required for you to say that object exists. Any object is true. Even Pluto or any other galaxy out there, technically you're supposed to know. Well, you and I are not, our life is not meant to see galaxies and all that. And so some scientists say this galaxy exists, Andromeda exists, and it is this, and okay, it exists. I believe what they say, it exists. Somebody saw it. Somebody mapped it all out. Somebody has mapped the skies. The other day, a couple of days ago, I downloaded, I wanted to see Dhruva Nakshatram, believe it or not. I've been hearing about it all these years. Dhruva, and its position doesn't change and this and that. I had to just said, can I see it? Answer is yes, you can see it. And it is always, the North Pole. Not North Pole, sorry, the axis, the south-north axis is there. You keep drawing that axis, stretch it all the way outside the earth and keep going. And then after a long time, wherever it goes and meets the celestial sky, they say, that is where Dhruva is. And because this doesn't change at all, earth doesn't rotate like this, earth only rotates like this. And it also revolves like this also. So the point in the sky where this axis is pointing to doesn't change at all. Precession is there. That will change the position. Precession is there. Then Dhruva, the next time Dhruva will not be, this won't be pointing to Dhruva. It was pointing to something else. Now it is pointing to Dhruva. Amazing it is. So I said, before this earth moves away from Dhruva, I want to see Dhruva. Very interesting stuff. So then who is going to show me all these things? There is a software called Stellarium. Our astronomy people, all Rajvedam, everybody talks about it. And I never bothered about it. Finally, I said, I have to download this thing. And I downloaded Stellarium. And it's mind-boggling is all I can say. The other day I looked at, even before I went to Dhruva, I did like this, and Chitra Nakshatra is there. Then I did like this, Swati Nakshatra is there. It's mind-boggling. Jeshta. Then next, Jeshta is there next to each other. And then some Marichi Nakshatra is there. And then before I even went to Dhruva, Dhruva is on the north. North is this side. Dhruva is always there. Bright. And that particular constellation and all it was showing. Everything it shows. You can decide whether you want Vedic mapping or European mapping or Mongolian mapping and all these things. Anyway, what was the point? Point is, in order for me to say something exists, I must first know it. I must know it. I must see it. Something has to be there. Only then I can say, yeah, exists. So that's what he's saying in that shloka. In that shloka, he said, Atma cannot be known. Atma cannot be known means its existence. How am I going to know Atma's existence? That is what he's saying here in the next shloka. Previous shloka, Atma cannot be known. Here he is saying Atma need not be known as an object. Need not be known. Okay, svabodhe nānyabodhecchā. Okay, bodharūpatayātmanaḥ, like that he's saying. So he's saying this Atmanaḥ svabodhe, to know the existence of Atma, nānyabodhecchā. Ichcha here is not desire, requirement of another illumining factor called bodha. Okay, nānyabodhecchā, requirement. There is no dependency. Okay, there is for me to see Atma, for me to know Atma exists. Okay, this is not difficult to follow. Very simple it is, right? Why it is very simple? It is so simple that I ignored all these years. But now Shastram is turning It is making our attention turn inward, as they say. This is what is inward. Now you understand what inward is. Inward is understanding that I always exist. This is the only entity that is always going to exist. This is what is turning inward, not closing the eyes and all that. Closing the eyes may be needed, but you don't have to close. Do you have to close your eyes to say I exist? Okay, not needed. Okay, at least there we agree. So we don't have to. So dhyana, that's the whole thing. That's why this shastram is a big blessing for all of us. And so that nānyabodha icchā nasti. This to know the existence of Atma, another consciousness is not needed. Not available also, but not needed. And to put it differently, if you say bodha is vritti, svabodhe, for knowing Atma, you don't need nānyabodha. Nānyabodha means what? Vritti. Here now I am coming to thought. A thought is not, a vritti is not needed. A thought is not needed to know Atma, to illumine Atma. This is getting a little technical. Let me explain that. I know the pot. I know pot exists. Why? How do I know pot exists? Well, science ko chhod do. Science is okay. All that is fine. Light is striking this pot and the light rays are going to my eyes and all that. That is all okay. But the conscious being is there here. We are talking about consciousness. So that Atma is there. Without Atma, nothing, science will not work. And so now what I'm saying is that ability for the conscious being is very much there, first of all. And that conscious being, all the light and all is striking, everything is happening. Eyes are also working. Let's say mind is also working. Let's say mind is awake, ready to take whatever comes. And so now the pot vritti takes place. The consciousness is pervading the pot. Also, the conscious being that I am has pervaded the pot. Otherwise, I can't see the pot. Awareness. I cannot become aware of the pot. Hey, the eyes are making me aware of the pot. Not correct. That is how we got conditioned to think. The eye has nothing to do with awareness. Eye is an organ on which if you throw some light, it will tell you, it will pick up the light. That's all. It has no ability to go after objects. We conveniently ignore it. That fact is not needed for science to operate. Let it operate. Okay. But that consciousness is waiting. It's always, it is like that, the light that is always on. Like sun is always on, or any other light. There are some places where the light is always on. Whether people are there or not there, it doesn't matter. Like hospitals and emergency, light should be on. Nobody should turn off the light. They say empty rooms must be dark, but there are some places where the light is always on. And so, like that, this consciousness light is always on. Always on. Nobody can turn it off. And that light that is on is striking this spot. And further, because of the way the sense organs function and the mind functions, the mind has the capacity to make an image of the pot and study the image of the pot and make conclusions and begin looking at things and begin making judgments and analysis and whatnot, decisions. Mano, buddhi, ahankara, chittani. Everything is happening. That is the capacity of the mind. And so what happened? A pot vritti has taken place in my mind. Pot vritti, ghata vritti. Okay. And the ghata vritti arising from the illumination of the pot. Atma has illuminated the pot. And thereby a ghata vritti has taken place. All right. That is how things work for objects in general. Now, because this is Atmabodha, not Ghatabodha, Atmabodha, then Atma also has to be known. He says, no, Atma need not be known. Because you are Atma. Because of your presence, you are able to know the pot and the mic and this laptop and everything else that is going on around me. I'm just conscious of everything. He's saying, nānyabodhecchā nāsti. Another vritti is not required to know Atma. Vritti is not required. Please understand. Turn on the light. Let me see if I exist or not. No, you don't have to turn on the light and all that. That is the idea. No vritti is needed. I exist. I say, don't forget I exist. Don't forget I exist. No such vritti is needed. That is what he's saying here. Svātmaprakāśane. That means in the Vishaya of Atmabodha, in the context of self-knowledge, in the context of the knowledge of the self, another vritti, Atmabodha vritti is not needed. Previously, he said in the previous shloka, nothing can illuminate Atma. Then he's saying nothing needs to illuminate Atma. I hope we are following here. That is the beauty of Atma, right? So, long ago, Swamiji gave an example. Paramarthananda. He's saying, I'm going to rephrase it somewhat. So, a camp we are conducting in the Anagati Ashram, Vedanta camp, 30 people have registered. And so, Meenakshi is the coordinator there. And so, she's checking if everybody, she has a list of 30 people in her hand. Okay? And then the orientation has started. And she is now calling out names. From A to whatever, she's calling out names. Okay? Is she going to call out Meenakshi? Suppose she sees her name. She sees her name on the list. What happens? She will check with somebody else. Can you check if Meenakshi is there? Can you please do, Shanti, please check if Meenakshi is there? Meenakshi is asking, It won't work like that. It doesn't work like that. She just moves through her name like that. As though job is done. As though job is done. That is because there is no question of, there is not even a question. Maybe some spelling mistake may be there, this, that, etc. That is okay. That is all okay. But the existence of Meenakshi in that room need not be proved by Meenakshi or anybody else also. Okay, anyway, I had to say it because Paramartha that he said it. I like that very much. So, she won't call her name, Meenakshi, and then raise the hand, Meenakshi, and then move on. She doesn't have to do all that stuff. So, why is it like this? Bodharūpatayātmanaḥ. That is how it is. That is Atma. That is the uniqueness of Atma. It is of the nature of consciousness. Here, Bodha here means consciousness. Okay. And how do you know what is Atma? Atmanaḥ. Atma kaha. If somebody asks you what is Atma, what will you say? Atma kaha.
Nanda Swamiji said Eka Nitya, the four features of Atma.
Four features of Atma are there. 5 features of Atma.
Eka Nitya Saram. Eka Nitya
Satyam.
Sat. I don't know.
Satyam, Nityam.
Good. So, Ekam, Nityam, Satyam, and then one more, ENSP or something like that. All right. That is one answer. What is the other answer?
स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः पंचकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रय साक्षी सच्चिदानंद रूपः सन् यत्तिष्ठति स आत्मा.
Sa Atma. Student asked the question in Atmabodha, Atma kaha, because he's asking a big list of questions and one of the questions is Atma kaha. And their definition of Atma is given. Stula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktaha. It is distinct from this body. Body, mind, sense complex. Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, very subtle. Karana Shariram, that also. Anandamaya Kosha. Vyatiriktaha. Panchakoshatitaha San. Panchakoshatita also is the same body, mind, sense complex. Whichever way you look at it. Okay. Then what? Then avasthatraya sakshi. Oh, the word sakshi has come there. Avasthatraya sakshi. So Atma is sakshi. Okay, then Satchidananda Rupa. San yat tishtati. Sat chit ananda. We saw that last time. Existence. Chit chaitanyam. Or knowledge. Bodha. Bodha means chaitanyam, I said. That is bodha. Satyam, jnanam, anantam. That jnanam and chaitanyam identical. Knowledge, objectless knowledge. Okay, so Satchidananda Rupa San yat tishtati. That which is of this nature is Atma. And the definition has all this, it has all this vague, viparitaha. Other than panchakoshatitaha, atitaha, that which is beyond all these things. All this beyond, there is no other way to explain Atma, it seems. And so, Atmanaḥ, bodharūpatayātmanaḥ. So that Atma, knowing that Atma as Sakshi, which is of the form of Bodha, consciousness, Sakshi, that word is there. That is Sakshi. That is what makes me conscious of things. That is why the door is not aware of my existence. And neither it needs to be aware of my existence also. No chance. Even though the same door I am seeing for the last so many decade plus, okay, and still he cannot recognize me. He can't say hi to me. And so that is why bodharūpatayātmanaḥ Atmanaḥ. Because Atma of that nature is of that nature. Svabodhe nānyabodhecchā. There is no expectation of another vritti or another consciousness to illumine Atma, to know this Atma. Like that. To know the existence of Atma. Okay. How subtle, how beautiful it is. And so, yeah. Tikakara goes a little further. He says, Atma kaha. He says, hey, you should look at the derivation of the word Atma. You have forgotten all Sanskrit, nothing. You moved away, miles away you've gone from Sanskrit. So you will be struggling all the time. Let me help you. I don't want you to struggle like that. Atati, he uses the word Atma, comes from the root at satatya gamane. That in the sense of continued existence, continuous existence. That is the meaning of at. And so that is the Atma is that which always exists. That is why. So if you had known the root of this word, you would have understood Atma, and you will at least ask, where is this Atma that I want to meet the guy that always exists. And so like that our Tikakara's talk and Jagrada, Dishu, etc. He says, hey, in all states of experience, this Atma is there. Anuvartate iti Atma, avasthatraya sakshi, pratyegatma, etc. They say all these things. Anyway, we talked about all that. So now he's going to give an example. Bhagavan Shankaracharya. He says, na dīpasyānyadīpecchā. Yathā. So yathā you bring to the forward. Yathā dīpasyānyadīpecchā na apekshate svātmaprakāśane. Yathā dīpasya svaprakāśane anya dīpecchā na asti na apekshate. Like that you have to complete the sentence. Yathā, just as. Just as what? Well, dīpasya, take any lamp. Take any lamp. And lamp is illumining. And to see the lamp, you don't need another lamp. That is all it is. Dīpasya, there is no, that to see the brightness of a lamp, you don't need another lamp. That is what it is. And svātmaprakāśane, Means in order to illumine the lamp, you don't need another lamp. Why? Because by definition, the lamp is already illumined. It is self-illumining. And Atma is what? Self-evident. Okay. If you take away the word illumination, you can say evident. It's always evident. Its presence is always felt. There's not a moment when I can say I don't exist. Why? Why? That is it. This shloka is telling that it is not possible at all. It's not possible. When I'm sad also, I can't say I don't exist. When I'm elated also, I can't say I exist. I'm so happy. I'm pinching. Some people say I have to pinch yourself to see if you are there and all. Yeah, that is fine. That is fine. You can pinch yourself. But that self-evident nature of Atma, Sakshi, that is what is being highlighted in this shloka. Ever evident, whichever way you want to say it. Our Puja Swamiji gave an example once. See, these are the beauties when we attend somebody's classes, our Swamiji's classes, right? You get to pick up all these, the joy of just being in a class and relating to some person and all. And you remember all these things. It seems Swamiji was going on a flight from somewhere, from let's say Coimbatore to Delhi. He's traveling. Because he's going to Rishikesh. So he has to land in Delhi or then Haridwar, whatever. So he's going to Delhi. And it's a nice solid 2-hour plus flight. And Swamiji is sitting. And somebody is there sitting next to Swamiji. And they were talking and all that. Some conversations were happening. And as he was reaching Delhi, then Swamiji, where are you going? So, Swamiji didn't ask. This person told Swamiji. Because Swamiji, and then he says, Swamiji, I want to meet this person, this Swami Dayananda Saraswati, Purani Jadi, Rishikesh. Okay, you understood, no? So, Swamiji, Puja Swamiji is there. And he's asking Puja Swamiji, I want to meet Swami Dayananda. Now, our Swamis are all not ordinary people. Once such a situation arises, they are going to think and see how to explain, how to talk and all that. Anyway, I don't know what he said, but the point is, Soyam Devadattaha, correct? That Dayananda which you want to meet in Purani Jadi, Rishikesh is this Dayananda. And which Dayananda is that? On whom you are sitting, because this guy is big. Swamiji is like this, and on whom you are sitting. Okay, I kept quiet. I'm a sannyasi. I can't complain too much also. I can't call this thing and press the button and say, look, this guy, ask him to move there and all. You can't say all those things. So that Dayananda that you want to meet is this Dayananda. And whose experience do you have all the time or not? Yes. The last 2.5 hours, you've been having the experience of Dayananda Saraswati only. And immensely, I have more experience of you, in fact, because you are sitting on me and you are not bothered at all. And no, nothing, just kana, cow, and then just. And so all full experience of Dayananda you had, but you don't know who Dayananda is. After all this experience of Dayananda Saraswati, you don't know who he is. Same thing. With Atma also, same thing. Hey, this Atma is always there in every experience. That is why don't run after this idea that I have to go and experience Atma. Oh my God, I forgot. I lost 60 years of my life. Why? Because instead of looking for Atma and sitting and meditating on Atma, I did all kinds of stuff. No. Don't meditate on Atma. You have to know that you are Atma. Very simple. And that Atma is of so-and-so nature. It is immortal. Oh, I am immortal? The real you is immortal. Yes. the you that provides sustenance to this body, that is aware of the entire universe. And not only that, the universe also is Atma. We will tell you that later. You are Atma to begin with. Then the universe also will be equated to Atma. Universe is Brahman. That also we will say. Then quietly we will equate Atma and Brahman. Because there can't be two Atmas. There can't be two Brahmans. If there were two Brahmans, one will be subject, another Brahman will be object. If there are two Atmas, one Atma will be subject, another Atma will be object. That is not possible. So, anyway, that joke came to my mind. Soyam devadattaha, soyam dayanandaha, saha dayanandaha yat tvam drashtum icchati, saha eva aham, yeshaha ayam dayanandaha. Soyam devadatta, where did we see? We saw in Viveka Chudamani, Shankara gives that example. Soyam devadatta, it's a popular example we use in the Shastra. Means what? That devadatta means what? Of the different place and different time, who I knew. We used to play together. We used to play together, study together, all that devadatta. And the person who's standing in front of me now in 2026, okay, is the same. Even though they look different, even though I cannot recognize this person, nothing. But yet when somebody says, Soyam devadatta, then I go and hug that person. So that is how it is. So that awareness, that knowledge is required. That is what is knowledge. So we'll come to that also. In the next shloka that is going to come, verse number 30. So I think, so this shloka taught us that to know Atma, another Atma is not needed. To know Atma, you don't need another vritti like that. Those ideas are being presented in this shloka. Why? Because Atma is bodharūpatayātmanaḥ. It is self-evident. That is the nature of Atma. All right. Let us translate this. Just as a light does not require the help of another light, just as a light does not require the help of another light, for making itself known, comma, another light for making itself known, comma, so also Atma does not require another consciousness, comma, because its very nature is consciousness. Because its very nature is consciousness. And you can even replace the word consciousness by the word knowledge. But whichever works well for you, you can do. Because knowledge and consciousness are synonymous in this context. Okay, because its very nature is consciousness. All right. Just as light does not, or a light does not, a lamp, a light does not require the help of another light for making itself known, so also Atma does not require another consciousness because its very nature is consciousness. Okay. Next shloka. Niṣidhya sakalopa. Sorry. 1 second. These things, words are all different. Okay. That's what it should be. Oh, wait. निषिध्य निखिलोपाधीन
निषिध्य निखिलोपाधीन
नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः
नेतीति वाक्यतः
विद्यादैक्यं महावाक्यैः
विद्यादाइक्यम् महावाक्यैः
जीवात्मपरमात्मनोः
जीवात्मपरमात्मनोः
निषिध्य निखिलोपाधीन
निषिध्य निखिलोपाधीन
नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः
नेतीति वाक्यतः
विद्यादैक्यं महावाक्यैः
विद्यादाइक्यम् महावाक्यैः
जीवात्मपरमात्मनोः
जीवात्मपरमात्मनोः
Yeah. So you have told me a couple of contradictory things. Okay, Atma need not be illumined. That also I can appreciate. Because nothing is conscious of me except myself. And that consciousness I am aware also. I'm becoming aware and I am aware now. And you're saying there is no vritti needed to illumine Atma. And nothing can illumine Atma. But in order to know any object, I must make that object. I must make that thing an object of my knowledge. The mind has to focus on that. Something has to happen. The mind has to converge on that object. And here the textbook name itself is Atmabodha. Atmabodha, here you are saying svātmaprakāśane. Svātmapodhe is Atmabodhe, you know. Svātmapodhe nānyabodhecchā. You are saying. So it seems contradictory. Nothing can illumine Atma. But for me to know Atma, I have to. Something has to illuminate. Well, that's the katham vidyāt. How can this Atma be known if there is nothing that can illumine the Atma? That question is being answered here. And the answer is, you all can guess what it is. Hey, you don't shine the light on Atma. You shine the light on everything else, everything that is not Atma. And what should you do? You just chop it all off. Take it out. Anything that shines, anything that is objectified, take it out. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out. How long should I do it? Keep on doing it until you don't have to ask the question. Until you get it. That's how long we have to do it. That is what the shloka is saying. Okay. And so we've seen it in Vivek Chodamani just recently also we saw it. And Atmabodha, it has come now. Even here also we saw it somewhere, you know. Upadhi Titayad Anyam, shloka number 14, we saw it. Okay, we'll go to that shortly. Don't go there now. Hey, Niṣidhya Nikhila Upadhin. Upadhi. Word Upadhi was introduced to us some time ago. And that is the shloka number 14, right? Shloka number 14, what it says? Anadya vidya nirvachya. Okay, all that was said. Then at the second line, Upadhi Tritayad Anyam. Atmanam avadharayet. Like that, it was Shankaracharya quietly said it, and now he is saying, he said, Atma may you know Atma. May you know Atma as that which is distinct from the three upadhis, which is Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, and Karana Shariram, with respect to the body. He said that earlier. He gave us a clue that Atma is not anything that you see. Like that he said. Anything that you can experience also, Atma is not. Deep sleep I experience. Well, you are experiencing blankness, which is Karana Shariram. So that also is gone. Nothing I experience is Atma. In that shloka, negated. Therefore, it's very obvious, don't sit and try to experience Atma, waiting for Atma to come. The experiencer, the svarūpa of the experiencer is Atma. Atma need not come because Atma is already there. Alright, that is by the way. And so, there upadhi tritayat anyam. Atma is other than these three. Anything you want to look at, if it is an upadhi, you have to drop it off. Upadhi is not Atma. Like the pot wants to know. Pots wants to know, why am I suffering like this? And is there any moksha, vidi moksham irka? Is there any hope for me? Like that the pot is asking. Then the other sannyasi pot comes and gives a upadesha to this pot, right? Upadhi tritayad anyam swātmanam avadharayet. Hey, pot, look, listen carefully. Did you ever think about clay at all? Do you know what clay is? Oh, clay. Yeah, I've heard of clay. I've heard of clay. I've heard of clay. Oh, you heard of clay. One in shlokas and all I've heard. Clay. No, Atma comes, So I've heard of clay. What if I tell you, your entire body, mind, sense complex is nothing but clay? Oh, really? Yes. And so, even though I understand you are pot, but even you got to go beyond that and find out who you are, don't you think? If your essence is clay, don't you want to know that essence? Yeah, you seem to be making sense. Yeah, I need to know a little more about who I am. And if I say that clay has no samsara, pot has samsara, but clay has no samsara, will that interest you? That's the dialogue between the sannyasi pot and this samsari pot. Jnani pot and samsari pot. So, that upadhi tritayat anyam, this pot has to be told. Sthula sukshma karana sharirat vyatiriktaha mrittika eva satyam. Like that, like Uddalaka taught Shvetaketu, using examples like this. Like this clay pot and then iron and iron instruments. Naka nikrintanam, nail cutter. Oh boy, nail cutter. He uses nail cutter example. So then another example he uses. Gold and gold ornaments, I think. And so that was indicated in shloka number 14. So here also same thing is coming. Nikhila upadhīn. There upadhi tritayad anyat. Here nikhila upadhīn. Niṣidhya. Alright, let's look at the word niṣidhya first. Siddh. Dhatu is siddh. Prasiddh. Prasiddhaha. That same dhatu which gives rise to prasiddhaha. हिंदी में बोलते हैं निषेध बोलते हैं निषेधः प्रतिषेधः. All these are coming from that siddh dhatu. Shastre, shasane. Sanskrit students, others don't have to worry about this. Shastre, sasane, mangalye. In the sense of shastram, in the sense of shasanam, you have to use the root siddh, like that our dhatu kosha says. And prasiddha comes, and here nishedha. Nishedha in not in this context. In the general context, dhumrapan nishedha hai, they say, You go to the airport and then they will tell you, smoking is prohibited. I think nishedha means prohibition, if I'm not mistaken. I'm guessing. And so dhumrapan nishedha, right? So prohibition. But here it is not prohibition. Here it is negation. Prohibition, sense of prohibition, but negation. Hey, it's really not that. It's really not that. A pot, you're really not pot. Really you're clay. You're pot, all right, but really you're not pot. We will call you pot, all right. You respond whenever I call you pot. But you're not, that is not your real nature. So that is your upadhi. That is your upadhi. Upadhin niṣidhya. You, hey pot, you have to not break yourself. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to sit or stand anywhere. You just have to listen to what I'm saying. And what am I saying? Hey, you're pot, but essentially, what are you made of? Can you ask that question? I'm made of bones and blood and this and that. Okay, in this case, I'm made of clay. That clay, we need to look at it. Is there any part of you, hope, or pot, which is not clay? What about top, bottom, everything? You can look around, come back into the next class and tell me if there's any part of you that is not clay. And then pot will be constrained to say, no, my entire body is all clay. What did you do just now, oh pot? What did you do? Between yesterday's class and today's class, what is the difference? The difference is you have done niṣidhya. You have done niṣidhya of what? Of potness. Yesterday you said I am pot, now you are saying I am clay. What happened? Did you go to the barber shop and did he do something on you or what? Did you go to the salon, as they say? No, I didn't go to the salon. Then what happened? You did what is called niṣidhya. You did niṣidhya. You are the same old thing that has come. I can recognize you, you can recognize me. Both of us are same old. Then what happened? What happened is niṣidhya happened. You have done a niṣidhya. You have basically recognized yourself as clay by cognitively seeing that pot is upadhi. Pot, there is no object called pot. That you came to know. You have done niṣidhya of the pot. Without doing anything to yourself. Physically, you don't have to do anything. It is a mental activity. Why it is a mental activity? Because all that is there is clay. And pot never really came about. Pot is just nāmarupa. Vācārambanam vikaro namadheyam. Again, we have to go to Chandogya Upanishad. Uddalaka's teaching to Shvetaketu. Vācārambanam vikaro. Hey, this word P-O-T is Vācārambanam. It is just a word that came out of the vocal cords. Vocal cords is a source of words, That's what they say. Vācārambanam. Vācā arambanam. Whatever has been produced by this vocal apparatus. Vācārambanam. Vikaraha. Vikaraha. All right. The clay can take any form, And so it just happens that you are in this form which people call you pot. It is one particular form of the clay. You want to see other forms of clay? Come. You know it, right? Your whole family is there. All pots, lids, spatulas, everything is there. They're all vikaras, different vikaras. But everything is nothing but clay. Your cousin is also clay. Your sister is clay. Father, mother is clay. Children are all clay only. And you have pen friends in other countries. The pen friends also are clay only. Like that, the pot has to be educated. That is what he's saying here. Nikhilopādhīnneti. Nikhila. Khila means shesha. Shesha means remaining. Nikhila means nothing remaining. You have to cover all upadhis. Means every object in this universe. That is why Tikakara says Vyashti, Samashti. Oh boy, he uses all these words. Beautiful. Everything, known and unknown, you have to just look at all upadhis, all objects in the universe have to be covered by this statement. Samashti, Vyashti, Stula, Sukshma is covering all ground, correct? All ground. Samashti is the cosmic. Vyashti, okay, your own body, your own little things that you see here. That is Vyashti. Samashti means cosmic. Cosmic. Okay. Karana, Karana, Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Atmakan, Sarvan. Sarvan. All. Whether I know it or I don't know it, everything has to be put in this bucket. Okay, that sarvan upadhīn. That is the meaning of nikhilopādhīn. Leaving nothing out. Nikhila. No, akila, nikhila, we say. We have all these beautiful words. And that is what is being used here. These upadhis are all what? They are all distinguishing factors, no doubt. No doubt. Book is a book, cloth is a cloth, and the metal is a metal, a door is a door, and a fan is a fan. Everything is there. Of course, everything has its utilities, form, function, name, form, function. Everything is there. All in its own place. Everybody doing their own role, their own dharma, each is playing. Still, even though you will not go out and when you are hungry, pick up some sand and put in your mouth. Nobody will do it. Even animals don't do it. And so you know very clearly what is what. Okay. And the guy who is very conscious of nutrition knows even more what is what about food and what appears like food, but I won't eat it. Like that, the person says, all that let it be. They're all bhedakaha. Those upadhis are all there, very important for us. Still, that is not the essence. That is an upadhi. That is a projection on Atma. Like pot is a projection on clay. Like that, the pot is being taught. Okay. And so, parityajya, all right. Niṣidhya, Tikakara says, parityajya, giving up. Giving up. Hey, pot, you don't have to give up your life. Please don't give up your life. If you give up your life, this teaching has no validity. You need a live person. Teaching, you need a live person listening. Parityajya, give up all the upadhis. How do you give up potness? Hey, you don't have to break the pot into pieces and all that. Just be where you are. Understand that you are clay. Pot is a form. Pot is an upadhi. Like that. And when I do that, what happens? Netīti vākyataḥ. Or rather, how do I do it? Well, that is what it is. How do I do it? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, famous statement, neti. Naiti. Some commentators say one na is meant for vyashti, another na is meant for samashti. One is for micro, all the things that are there around us. Another is for macro, put everything together. Whatever big things are there out there. Collective. Neti. Naiti. What about this? What about mic? Naiti. No, can't be Atma. What about book? My favorite books? Na Atma. What about my children? Naiti. What about my parents and my other significant others? Naiti. Naham. What? Okay, that is all Naham I can understand. Even though he or she is close to me, still Naham I understand. But what about the body? My body, not somebody else's body. My body. Naiti. What about my sense organs and mind? Naiti. Neti. Iti. There are two itis here, by the way. This neti is not that neti, you know. I'm not talking about that. Don't think, oh, Shankaracharya is talking about all these nice Ayurvedic techniques and all. No Ayurvedic techniques here. Na iti, two words by the way. Na iti. Iti is quotation. In quotation. Putting na in quotation. Na. So there are three itis in this shloka, right? I hope you got it. Na iti, iti vākyataḥ. You got it, right? Because the two words neti is now to be put in quotation. Because that is how it appears in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay, hope you're following. Vakyataḥ, from that statement, vakyataḥ, from using that statement as a clue, as your guide, as your guiding light, netīti. So another beautiful meditation idea is there. Meditation you can do. Once the study is done, you can do the meditation. Netīti. Bring any object, anything you want, you can bring. Just bring anything. My vehicle, my people, my job, netīti. My boss, nice boss, netīti. Everything. Bring all the people and say netīti. That is good. Then shariram, my body. Netīti. That becomes a beautiful niṣidhya. So we saw it in wait a minute. What about this 16th shloka? What is the 16th shloka here? 18, 19, 16. Vapustushadibih koshaihi yuktam yuktavaghatataha atmanamantaram shuddham vivinchya tandulam yathā. He already introduced this idea, not a new idea at all. Just like you carefully remove that particular husk from the paddy and then get a hold of that rice grain, like that you have to do this, like that he says. Atmanam, shuddham atmanam, vivinchyat, he says. For the grain it is all physical, but here, even that husk is not there, really speaking. That husk is pot. For all you can say, husk is pot, husk is upadhi. Husk separates out, okay? The example, can't take it literally. You have to just spirit behind it. And here, nothing separates out. Everything is Atma, really speaking. Where is the question of separating out? And so, that shloka also, we can connect to this shloka. And so, niṣidhya, nikhilopādhīnneti. Netīti vākyataḥ. Okay. From that, vākyataḥ means vākyat. Vākyat means from that statement, literally from that one statement, nāiti. Okay, vākyataḥ. You can do the negation of all upadhis. That's why we use the word negation. Removal and all may not work for this. Okay. So vidyāt, by doing that, vidyāt, may you know. What should I know? Aikyam. Jīvātmaparamātmanoḥ aikyam. The identity between Jiva and Paramatma. Somebody asked me a question the other day when we were studying. Another group of small group of people we meet. And somebody said, why should I know the Jivatma Paramatma identity? Why don't I know the identity between Atma and Brahma? That's all I need to know, right? Atma, Aham, Brahma. I am Atma, Brahma. Why Jiva Paramashana? Why bring Jiva into the picture? Why bring Paramatma into the picture? That you should answer. Okay? I won't answer that question. Okay? We will see. Send a message on WhatsApp. These days, WhatsApp, so those days, email it was. And these days, WhatsApp, you don't see it for 3 days. No, it's all lost. So you have to scroll up and then you keep scrolling and gone. And now you come down, gone. So gone. 2-3 minutes gone in that itself. And then you have to decide, is it worth? Is it worth? Is all this worth it? Anyway. So, Jivatma Paramatmanoḥ aikyam vidyāt. Understand the identity between Jiva and Ishvara. Ishvara also has to say, I am Atma only. Jiva also has to say, I am Atma. Therefore, and both entities, once the upadhi niṣidhya happens, when all the sarva shakti matvam, sarvajñatvam, everything is removed, And this alpajnatvam, in one Tikakara says, kinchidnyaha, jivaha kinchidnyaha. Kinchit means little, you know. Kinchit means, alpa also means little only. Kinchit also means little. Kinchidnyaha, kinchidnyaha. The guy who knows kinchit is called kinchidnyaha. Anyway, kinchidnyatvam is there. Sarvajnatvam is there. Alpa shaktimatvam is there. Kinchit shaktimatvam is there. There, sarva shaktimatvam is there. All that negate. Cognitively negate all that. And what remains is Atma. Okay. Atma eva. And so Aikyam. How do I, mahāvākyairjīvātmaparamātmanoḥ, he says. Netīti you can use, but there is not one mahāvākyam. There are many mahāvākyas. Netīti if you do, you will come to Atma. But then to know that everything is Atma, you have to go to the mahāvākya, which is an equation, which is now equating two different things. Two obviously different things. Two obviously different things have to be now equated, which is a massive exercise. What is a massive exercise? 2 plus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4 is not possible for a child. Child will simply look at you. Child won't understand what you're talking. Child has to study a lot. And after which the child should say, oh, 2 plus 3 is equal to 9 minus 4. Is that what you said? What kind of exam, what kind of question you're asking? Give me something more difficult. That to that extent, the child has grown up. Just hardly 4 years ago, it was struggling. So the child was struggling. So like that, mahāvākyairjīvātmaparamātmanoḥ. So now homework can be given. What are all the mahāvākyas? You know, I think we covered it in which one? The Mahāvākya Shatena, Viveka Chudamani. Mahāvākya Shatena, he says. Hundreds of mahāvākyas. Just a few weeks ago, we saw that. And so here we can say popular mahāvākyas are 4. Rigveda, there is Prajñānam Brahma from Aitareya Upanishad. If I go like this, then people will say stop it. And so I may have to go slowly. Okay, I'll go slowly. Rigveda, there is an Upanishad called Aitareya Upanishad. And the Mahāvākyam is called Prajñānam Brahma. Then Yajurvedaha. You have an Upanishad, many Upanishads are there. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And there you have the Mahāvākyam. Aham Brahma Asmi. Then this one, Samaveda, correct. Samaveda, there is an Upanishad called Chandogya Upanishad. And there, famous Uddalaka, father teaching the son, and says, Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. Okay. All right. The last Veda is this Atharvana Veda, where there is an Upanishad called Mandukya Upanishad. Others are also there. Mundaka is there, Prashna is there, but Mandukya Upanishad, a statement called Ayam Atma Brahma. And like this, we have many statements from many other Upanishads and also Bhagavad Gita. You have a statement called Kshetrajñam. What is that mantra number? Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi.
13.3.
13.3. 13.3. Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi. So we won't go into the details of that, but that's why he says here, mahāvākyairjīvātmaparamātmanoḥ. Through the many mahāvākyas, that is the meaning of that word. Leveraging all those mahāvākyas, how about that? Using the corporate language. All right. So, anything else here? So, Viveka Chodamani also, we are able to connect. You are welcome to connect. Shloka number 74, beautifully said. Tattvam padabhyam abhidiyamanayoho. There he uses the word Brahmatmanoho. Here he says Jiva Paramatmanoho. There Brahmatmanoho. And then ekatvam he says there. Here aikyam he says. There he says pratipadyate. Here he says vidyāt. So different. Same meanings are all there.
Verse 60 also, Guruji.
60 of Vivek Chudamani, right?
Yeah. Nishede yuktitaha shrutehe.
Yuktitaha. Shrutehe yuktitaha nishede. Uses the word nishedaha. Good. That's how we have to connect these things.
There is avashishyate also. What is left?
Avashishyate is there, no? Correct. We were trying to figure out where else we saw this word avashishyate. And Tikakara here introduces one more word, bhagatyaga lakshanaya. Did I explain Jahal Ajahal that's all in this class? Atmabodha class? Not explained. Not explained. Okay. We will reserve that for the next class. Okay. So, but we have covered this shloka. Nothing else to cover. We will do that bhagatyaga lakshana in the next class, and then we'll look at the meaning of this shloka. All right. Translation. ॐ आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ